I've read the minutes. I'll make a motion we approve minutes from last month's meeting.
I second it. Those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, likewise. Minutes passed. Financial report.
You see attached any balances. So if you go to the third page, disbursements for the general fund for the month, 12,000. Receipts, 10,000. Ending balance, 155. Very little activity dispersed out of any other fund. Receipts for motor vehicle highway amounted 2,987. Only dispersed 400, so balances are growing there. Ending balances that third column. If you have any questions, I can run through them individually, but I would basically state that there weren't, again, any abnormal expenditures out of any of the funds. Sewer, probably a little bit higher than normal. At 16 dispersed, bringing in 14, so but nothing to be alarmed about. So I'd entertain any questions.
Accept the report.
I make a motion we file the report.
Motion's been made. I second it. You second it, Mark?
Yeah.
Those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, those signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Marshall's report.
Month of April, we had 340 and a half total hours. We had 149. Ken Stone Soccer had 48. Ron Allen had 24. Jeff Grant had 26. Chris Tossell had 20 and a half. Richard Squires had 33 and a half. Jessica Gaddis had 28. Todd Lieber had 0. Sanchez Jordan had 5. Jim Jarrett had 6 and a half. Rex Harold had 0. Chris Jones had 0. Vehicle 1 used 31 gallons of gas for 551 miles. Vehicle 2 used 10 gallons of gas for 113 miles. Motorcycles had 10 gallons of gas put in them. The training was NCIC and IDAX certifications. We had 1 welfare check, 1 medical run, 1 gun permit, 6 uniform traffic tickets, 5 verbal warnings, 1 domestic, 1 dog complaint, 2 vehicle checks, 1 lockout, 1 motorist assist, and 1 call out for the month.
Any questions from Marshall? Do I hear a motion?
I'll motion to accept.
A motion to accept the minutes, the report from the Marshal. Those in favor?
I'll second.
Oh, I need a second, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been seconded. Those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, likewise. Motion carries. Street report.
Got street signs needed. Home Avenue and State Street needs a sign. School School Street, State Street needs a sign. Pleasant Run and State Street needs a sign. Pleasant Run and Cottage needs a sign. Maple Street, Main Street needs a sign. Maple Street, School Street needs a sign. Speed limit sign on Maple Street, 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign is down. It was given to me and ended up on my neighbor's front porch somehow, so it's down, needs to be put back up. There's some potholes at Bennett Drive and 4th Street that's getting bad for holding water. North State Street at the bridge, there's one that's holding water, and 20 yards just south of that, the southbound lane is holding water. That's it.
This one, are you talking about the little bridge down here?
No, here on North State Street.
Up there by Sherilyn? Okay.
Yeah, those two.
Haven't seen that. How far is the county paving? Between 36 and 38?
At least to our city limits, is what I understood, from
Okay.
36.
Okay. Let me ask you a question on the signs. Do you know where to get those?
I have no idea.
We'll find it.
We need to look around, see one, I know the two over here on Cottage have both been run over, but I think all happened was they knocked the post over. I think the signs are all right. We need to get the post. I know the one that was run over my yard, it's fine, the sign. The post is broke, but the signs, them are just like, new post. In fact, there's a post over here that's already down at the end of that street, that where the semi turned the corner too sharp, knocked it over. And the one that Sam put it over in my yard, you know, we put that one over in the corner of my yard. That's the one that guy run over and broke the post off. And so I guess we could put it back on that other post, couldn't we?
I would think you could.
The sign's fine.
But I got a big concern about the stop sign that's been down for 5 days beside my house. Big concern about that. It's down.
That's the one the guy hit with the semi.
Is it the stop sign that's down, or is it the state
It's the
sign?
stop sign that's down.
The stop sign as of about noon this afternoon was
Justin
on
Miller
there.
lifted that up yesterday.
Yeah,
Prior to
then
that,
the
it
other
was
one was-
twice down.
The wood post broke.
Yes.
Oh. Wood? I thought it was steel.
It's steel, the post is broke, it's been hit by something.
Oh, I thought that stop sign.
Semi's got it sometime or another in the last couple of days. The tracks, the mud tracks went right beside it.
I think that was the, Jerry Fredericks probably been putting their stuff away. Probably an accident with a backhoe or something, but it's down.
I'll find out what to do on the signs and where to get them at. Street reports.
Let's see, that's at Cottage and 38. The wood on 38 you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right up there.
You're gonna take care of that sign, yeah?
I'll take care of the signs,
Okay.
yeah. One way or another.
Okay. If you need calls or wood.
Yeah. Parks report.
We got lucky this year on the State Road 38 thing. We had excellent weather. I want to thank Jack and Betty Weiss for what the work they did down at the park. They had a slew of people down there. I mean, there were people everywhere down there. And really, that went real well. We didn't have any problems. As far as I know, if we had any problems, nobody said anything about them. There's people everywhere. So but I know the sorority did real well with their food things. They made a lot of money. So that went well. We got ball games going on. We do have a problem back there at the pulling track. There's water from and I know Landis, you've been involved with the lumberyard and the water problem that they have. And Ron Peeble and I went and talked to John a week ago Friday. And as everybody knows, every time it rains real hard, water stands out in front of the lumberyard. And anybody that's lived around here long enough knows that. John says that the tile underneath 38 is broken. They've tried to go through there, they can't get through there, and I don't know how long ago it's been, but the lumberyard at one time had that fixed. And over the last few years, that's broken down. So anyway, if anybody knows anybody at NDOT, cousin, uncle, grandpa, you know, we need to put as much pressure on those people as we can to get that fixed, because that is a problem there. John says he'll sit there in his office and he's seen people hit that water and slide, and over the winter they spin, and you know, and it's just an accident waiting to happen right there. And what's happened back there at the Pullman track is the water is filtering back from the lumberyard over to the Pullman track. So it's real wet back in there on the east side of that Pullman track. And I know there's the state's been out there, according to John. Of course, they say they don't have any money, they can't get it fixed. So, but it is a problem for everybody in town. And I just like to tell everybody, if anybody knows anybody, we need to kind of try to put as much pressure as we can to get that fixed.
A call to the maintenance unit, head of the maintenance unit in Greenfield will take care of that.
No, it won't. They've been called by Sam, they've been called by me. It's been a 3 or 4 year ongoing, shall we say, conversation. They come out and they look at it. Well, we got a problem. Well, since it's your road and your tile, you got to cut the road, and they won't do it.
That's exactly what John told me, just what you
That's right.
said. I mean, they just won't do it.
Sam and I, a year and a half ago, had them out here, and they were all hepped up because they had extra money, and the reality of it is it's talk. Because when the rubber met the road, they backed off so quick it wasn't even funny.
Did John think that's a state ditch or county ditch or?
Well, I assume it's, I mean, I don't know. I'm just telling, I mean, all John told me was that the tile underneath the road was broken down. They've been out there, they tried to bust through it, they can't get through it, so it has to be broken down somewhere in there.
Correct me where I'm wrong, Sam. They worked on, Fredericks worked on from the road to the ditch
Yeah.
out in the field, and they thought that would take care of it. Frederick paid for that. It didn't work, and Frederick's brothers or cousins or whoever they are came in with a scope, and the break is right under the road, and you got to open the road up. And when that starts getting talked around, they have stopped. They have shown absolutely no interest in addressing that issue.
Well, that's the same story I got
Yeah.
from John. So, I mean, he's really got the problem because back behind that
Sure.
building, there's water everywhere. And, you know, I would like for everybody to be aware of that, because if anybody has any connections at NDOT, and I know Landis and Sam did the best they could to try to get people out, but they just don't want to fix it. So what do you do?
That's the bottom line. They'll come up with a million different excuses. What you gonna do? It's their road.
I don't know.
Is there anything legal avenues on that, John?
No, I mean,
Just
they've worked really hard to try to get it done.
Sam worked on that for 2 or 3, 4 years. Then I got in on it, and it's still, all you get's talk. You don't get any
But if
results.
anybody can get the state to move,
Landis,
Yo,
you care if I make a phone call?
no, go right ahead.
Anybody,
Okay.
it's really,
I still have some connections.
it affects all of us.
I appreciate it. Greenfield's responsible for the maintenance on it.
responsible for this.
Let us,
They're responsible for the maintenance of their district.
It's their district.
Greenfield, Indiana.
It's a state highway, they're all the city, Greenfield.
Oh.
That's what it is, it's a state highway.
Because Ed knows a lot of the street department people and in Greenfield, and I didn't know how that went together.
No, it's not their street.
No, it's not their street, it's
Okay.
the state
They have
office
6
there.
districts in the state
I
of
see,
Indiana.
that makes sense.
We're in the Greenfield district.
Okay.
can you let us know what you find out, Rick?
I will, yes.
Find out, you know,
Yeah.
maybe we look at something
I've
else.
worked out of the Greenfield office for many years,
Okay, if-
covering all of East Central Indiana.
Good, that's good.
Sewer report.
Oh, hey, one thing for, on
Yeah.
parks. The statute says that we can have 5 park board members.
Yeah,
We want to add 2 more. Got some younger people, so we're going to put a couple younger people on the board with us.
so you wanna have a total of 7?
5.
Oh.
3 now.
Oh, it's set, you've got 3, it allows 5?
Yes. That's all we're going to do, is add 2 more.
I think that's up to you guys.
That's up to you guys.
Yeah, I would just like to get some younger people involved.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not getting any younger here, you know what I'm saying?
Amen to that.
blood in on it.
Right.
Yeah, go for it. Sewer report. I should probably give that. Had a break underneath the road up here. They actually, last fall, when Michaels was fixing a hit they had, they actually fixed it, and that was not the problem. But in the process of repairing where they had hit with their boring machine, it seems that it pulled, those joints are just slip joints with O-rings in them, pulled it apart, filled it in last winter. No, I mean, you know, when they fixed it, it was dry, and then you got winter and you got no water. With the water we've had, it started bubbling up, and we had an open break underneath the road. They have drilled a new, a new line going underneath the road, and it's all fixed now. They're just waiting for the ground to settle. And we've had 3 or 4 other instances on the sewers having to fix breaks, et cetera, But that was the big one. How much was that to fix that? I mean, we got like $7,000, $8,000.
Somewhere upwards about 8.
8. But we got it fixed and everything's functioning. We're just waiting for the ground to settle now. Environmental reports. Yeah.
Shouldn't Fredericks pay for that if they broke it?
No, Fredericks didn't break it. One of the
Not Fredericks, I mean,
yeah, Michaels.
Michaels.
Now that I just found out today we got the bill. I have already called Michaels and told them to get ready because we would be in contact. So yes, you're exactly right.
I have a sewer problem. I
What's
talked
that?
to Bob.
Yeah.
My grinder's not working. A
Okay.
guy from Jerry's came out, and it's been, 9 days now, I guess? And,
At least.
Yeah.
I thought it was fixed. He never did fix it?
No, he came out and he says, the breaker in my house is not working.
Yeah, he said,
So I brought him in the house. He says, oh, they're not marked, but they're all okay. I did have a qualified electrician come out, and I have to 220 to the panel. And he said that the problem is I have a little fuse box, screwed fuse box in the garage, and then one of the fuses was burnt out in there. And he said that's the reason the pump's not working. Well, that box has got nothing to do with the pump or the grinder. And I've not heard from him since. I talked to a guy from Jerry's in the store where I work out there in Markleville, and he said, well, what they're doing is they're just replacing the panels and the pumps in order to upgrade the system. And that's a costly, to me, a very costly operation to replace both those at the same time, rather than try and look and see what
who
the
said
problem is.
that?
One of the
Who
guys
told
that
you
works for
that?
Jerry's. I don't know his name. He never did.
Find out his name. I'd like
Okay.
to.
I've got something on that same line, so continue on.
Yeah. So,
I'll call him tomorrow.
and it's,
What's your address?
121 South 6th Street.
121? Well, Get
believe you
on.
need to get, the town needs to get somebody qualified to fix these pumps.
I was just gonna mention that. I
Because-
agree with you. But I don't think they're qualified. The kid, I'll be honest with you, he didn't know anything. He told me he used to work for Rickers before, and all of a sudden now he's a qualified sewer technician, so.
You're
I'm
probably,
just telling you what he told me, so.
yeah.
And he, you know, I called him up and he, remember I came over the second night to your house and spoke to you
Yeah,
about it?
yeah.
And I called him when you gave me the number. He said, well, I can't come out tonight. He said, I have an emergency and I have to babysit my son. I'm going, okay, I don't have an emergency. My sewer's open.
Are you completely shut down? You can't flush or anything?
Oh, I can flush, but it just bubbles up out of the tank. I called the health department. He told me to go ahead and just keep using it. I'm gotta wash my
You
hands.
won't call it tomorrow,
I don't know what
want me
that-
to?
You need to get somebody that
You
can
need to
fix them.
find someone who's really
Huh?
qualified.
You need to find somebody that
Well,
can
that's
fix them.
what we tried to do, but I mean, that's what can you do? If a person says they can fix them, and if they can't, then we gotta go find somebody again. What else?
That
can you
guy
do?
in-
I was out for 2 weeks with my sewer. And they come up to replace the panel and all it was miswired inside.
Well, that's,
And I wouldn't listen to common sense. So they do need to have a new, or either that or go back to the old guy that used to do them and nurse him back into it and get him to fix them.
he resigned.
Town can't afford $1,000 panels.
Is Fortville, that guy in Fortville still doing it?
I have no idea.
Is anybody in Ingalls?
We need to talk to Jerry and see why these guys ain't fixing them.
Yeah.
I thought they were qualified. We just need to talk to Jerry
The
then.
guy told me that.
Did they ever get yours fixed in?
Yeah, they
It's all right
finally
now?
replaced the panel. They told me it's faster for him to replace the panel than it is for him to troubleshoot. So it takes an hour to troubleshoot it, or we pay $1,000 a panel. That's plumb stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after 3 pumps in mine this year,
3 pumps
3 pumps. The fourth one, they were gonna put the fourth one in before.
at $1,000 a piece?
I don't know how much it is. But, all because the capacitors were wired wrong.
And in the meantime, we've got sewage running down the streets in spots that are dead. I was amazed that wasn't pumping down there. Instead of, it's right back in the ground, the same ground's put there. And I don't know if it's polluting wells or not, but I'm thinking very seriously having mine checked. Because I can certainly smell it on the front porch.
So the sewer system, the sewer's gotta have something done to it.
We
fact,
talked about that. In fact, Sam brought that very thing up, that we're 30 years into our sewer system, and I think we're gonna have some infrastructure problems.
Yeah, the
And
25-year
you're very
sewer
well-
system.
You very well know that.
Exactly
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
and that's hard, cold, hard facts, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
We need to get with Jerry though and talk to him, find out why these guys ain't
Yeah.
getting these fixed.
It's becoming rather obvious.
Yeah, something's going on.
Well,
He's not getting the job done.
And I'll tell you what, something else we need to do, and I was gonna bring this up, we need to get another letter drafted and send out to people about how to, or what not to put in these sewer systems. And, you know, the phone numbers to call, blah, 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 like we did, I don't know when we do that, Sam, 6 or 8 years ago, we done that one night. I know, and got all that out, and we're going to do that again.
I know we were accused of having some of the wrong stuff in there. The wife and the item that was mentioned isn't even used in the house anymore.
But we do need to address that, that's for sure.
If Jerry still wants to continue the contract, he also needs to be a little bit polite to his customers, his people.
So you have a contract?
I don't know.
no.
But I know when I called him to give him an address, I was giving the wrong address and he drove up and he was meaner and snot because I was off by 2 numbers. Come to find out, he knew the person personally that was having the problem. So there is a problem here.
Sounds like a mess.
There's gotta be some other company in town that knows how to repair that stuff. I mean, it's, or not maybe in this town, but I mean in our outlying towns if they have grinders, I don't
Well,
know.
I bet you Robies know how to replace a lot
I
of
was
these.
going to do them, but like I said, I didn't have a key in my letter. In my letter, I did not have a key for 3 months to do anything. I was allowed to do everything, I could do everything within 10 pounds.
Frank, I'll call him tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Attorney's report.
Environmental.
Oh, did I forget one? Environmental report. Don't think we got one.
I've got a question about it.
Sure.
He's already started, that sewage over there that he was talking about it smells in our house still. And it is horrible today, and anybody can walk over and I'll be more glad to put you on the parlor room and you can smell sewage. So I think that needs to have some lime or something put on it bad.
Coming out of yours or?
No, it's the house.
Coming
next
out of
to
that
mine where
down
they
there?
have a leak, it needs lime put on it or something.
Where
to
the-
get that smell
It
out.
needed the ground taken out and
Replace
that
that.
contaminated hauled away instead of that liquid just left there to go down. I don't know how deep it was, but the hole was at least 6 foot in diameter. That should have had a back truck and that
Which it
taken
did.
out of there.
I'm like the others, I'm very concerned about my well. And I don't find that funny, town board president. I'm
I
very
do.
concerned. I'm sure you do.
I do.
I'm sure you do find it funny that our well with sewage.
That shows a lot of concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure does.
Have you had a water test?
No, I'm getting ready to. Definitely.
Be interested in seeing what you got.
Yes.
Yeah, let us know.
I will. Thank you, Bob, for your concern.
If it's, somebody or something they called, then we'll go after some other people.
Thank you for your concern. I appreciate that.
No, I don't.
Attorney's report.
Dave Puckett approached me a few days ago. He has discovered that he has little tiny pieces of land that he still pays taxes on. He's interested in possibly donating the little pieces to the town. I would need, if the town is the least bit interested, I would need to get with Dick Ward or whoever took over for him to have surveys completed on, there's 4 total, and I think on 2 of them surveys would have to be done just so that we could even get legals on them.
How big and where are they?
They're the easiest way to describe them is that they're near old railroad places, and they're little strips where he has sold other pieces of land and has not sold by accident. He hasn't completed all of the land, and so like I said, if I could get with Dick Ward and have a map drawn, because it's the tiny little.
How much, did he give you any idea how many acreage? Or is it?
Oh, it's not. It's not. We're not talking acres. We're talking
Less
feet.
than?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to know where it's at first, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, to say yes or no, we don't even know where it's at.
I've got a rough description as far as the maps. I mean, as far as an outline of a general idea. But I didn't want to pursue any more as far as getting the specifics as far as to show the town, unless the town was possibly interested. If you are, then what I could do is maybe one of you, I could get you those rough outline of as far as the sketches, so that we could figure out if we wanted to bring it before the town
I
council.
think we need to work
Okay.
where it's at.
Couldn't mention why he wouldn't just give it to the people that bought the ground off of him.
Don't get a tax break if he does that.
Yeah.
He gets a tax break if he donates it.
Is that it?
That is it.
Planning Commission,
No report.
no report. Comments by citizens? Yeah,
Well, I think I counted 7 children at play on our road. And the cars that are flying by, it's just a hazard wait.
I don't understand 350 some hours. I don't understand why they're leaving, you know,
But
going
anyway,
that fast.
Where is it at,
They're
Angela?
mostly coming from the south, and I don't understand how they pick up such speed coming over those railroad tracks. They're going easy, 55 to 60 miles an hour in front of my house. And there's little kids now riding their bikes, and they don't care. And I feel like if we just had a police presence once a week, so that people would say, well, you know, because I know they sit up here all the time. I mean, people will expect that coming through 38. But coming down my road,
what
they
times?
know it's all day, but mostly after 5 and early in the morning. But it's just
From the south going north?
both ways, but mostly from the south. I can't explain that, but we need some police presence out here. We really do. At least once a week, so that people will start saying, oh, I've been seeing police down here. I better slow down. It's ridiculous. It is horrible.
But it's rampant all through everywhere. People drive fast, yeah.
But
I agree with
how
you.
they pick up speed coming across that railroad track. It's so bumpy, and they're going so fast. Somebody just needs to come and watch for a little while.
Seems like,
There you go, Ken.
It's been going on like that for years.
Yes, but it seems like since they put new concrete out there, they know it's smoother, and they're just, it's like the month of May.
that does run through the blood around this time of year around here, yeah.
I agree. But thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
You
Kevin.
got that, Kev?
Got it?
Okay. Comments, any other comments?
What? If he does fix it, could you put a note on it or let me know that it's okay?
Oh, sure,
Thank
sure.
you.
That's the other thing. He needs to can talk to people,
Who's that?
Jerry.
I mean, they come out and I guess looked at it and never looked, didn't even know he was there. So I mean, you know, leave a note in the door, just put a note on the box or something, you know. That way
Okay.
you know what's going on.
Okay,
Thank you.
Will do.
That's, to me, is important.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
unfinished business. No. Oh, you
Dan's
want on
got
that? Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
I want to revisit that. We talked about the antique fire truck at one point in time,
Oh, yeah.
and I was asking if you would give it to the fire station. And since then, the township advisory board has offered to pay at a minimum of $10,000 to have the thing restored, with the stipulation that it be titled to the territory, just like the rest of the equipment. So it would be joint ownership and would revert back if anything ever happened. So it was
Well, hey, John, I'd put it just like the fire trucks and
It'd
stuff.
be exactly like that. The difference is that he is correct in the wording, the way we have with the territory now. If it were to be dissolved, then it reverts back, because, you know, with the others, because there's it goes to where it came from. So, for example, you know, with the other fire trucks, it goes to wherever it needs to go.
That
So,
would come back to the town.
Correct.
Automatically.
correct. But it'd be titled just like all the other fire trucks.
Does that mean that our tax dollars are gonna have to pay for the insurance and everything else on that truck?
We already have insurance on it to protect it, since it's out there in the fire station, so the insurance would not go up.
Time out there. Our tax dollars are paying for insurance for a piece of decoration?
If you pay township tax dollars, I don't know where she's getting the
Well, of
money.
course I pay township tax
Well,
dollars. I live in a township.
Here again, I do not have details. She made the offer, and I'm bringing it here to take back to her. So it's entirely up to you guys. She made the offer at my last meeting.
She's gonna bring up $10,000 going to,
Coming probably from the fire equipment debt that was left over.
no, I'm not worried about where the money's coming
Yeah, I'm
from.
not either. I mean, it's,
I'm worried about, what are they gonna do with it? I mean, you're gonna put that into refurbishing and getting it running?
getting it running and moving and stopping. I mean, the truck's sit, broke, in disrepair for as long as I know of it. And the firemen would like to have the thing fixed.
What's the estimated cost on getting it running and stopping?
The last estimate that I think I heard was somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000.
So you've got a hard 10 right now.
That's correct.
I like the idea. I think it'd be great in the parades and stuff, to have that fire truck. We've talked about that for 20 years, I suppose, or 10 anyway. But this is about the best chance we've had. We've even had people look at it, see what it would cost to get it around. And it was always a cost prohibitive.
Well, last time they approached us, if you recall, they didn't have a way to make money.
Right, exactly.
If you guys have got a hard money now, that's a different story. And you say it'll stay in the township, not in the township, but
It goes to the
just like-
fire territory, like all the other fire trucks, and as it reads now, if upon dissolution,
yeah.
it is distributed back to where it needs to go as far as the distribution. So if
come
it
back
comes
to us.
from here, then it would come back to here.
I don't see that being a problem.
I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah,
I mean, I think it'd be neat in parades and stuff like that.
it'd be nice in parades and everything, but do we really have that kind of, do we really want to do that? It'd be neat in the parade, but
Well, we've talked
That's-
about doing this for
I know.
years and years, just never did have the money. But
Let's
with
talk about when I'm back
$10,000
there.
on the table,
If they're assuming the cost, I don't see what the problem is.
I don't
That's
either.
their way. Because you guys have the cost for the insurance, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, I don't see where that's a burden to the board at all. This board.
I'm gonna make a motion that we title that truck just like the other fire trucks. Our
So you're
titles.
saying,
And-
go ahead with the process?
Yes.
I guess it'd be all right.
You second?
Okay, I'll second.
Got a motion to
Title it. just like
title
the
it
other.
as the other vehicles, under the proviso that it be brought up and running,
As long as it comes back to the town, it's like.
and it comes back to the town on
distribution, just like
on
everything else.
dissolution. Those in favors?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, I'll pass that on.
You want to talk about the contract or?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope, that's you.
No, I mean, yeah, this is the place to do it. Okay, it is required by law, is it not? Or it's just what we said we'd do? This doesn't help.
We gotta discuss the contract in public meeting.
Yeah, we have to discuss the contract in a public meeting for the marshal. It is my thought that the contract, as it reads presently, more than is a good contract. I don't see a problem with it, and I'm not a lawyer. It's my understanding and some of the research that I've done that contracts now are given out, and I would say that I would make the recommendation that the contract be dependent upon Kevin's finishing of the Marshall's School. When you go to that, Kevin?
October 19th to December 11th.
Successful completion of that. If he doesn't successfully complete it, then it's all done. But I would say that at the completion of that term, that we offer the present contract with the change being, it would be my thought that it should be a 3-year contract. There are some contracts being offered presently that are 5-year contracts. I am much in support of a 3, and I don't know about 5. I wouldn't be against it, but I'm just not certain about 5 years. 5 years is a long time. But that would be my feelings, with the usual clauses of performance and subject to change over time. The usual morals clauses that are prevalent in all civil contracts. Why is that? Those are my thoughts.
I have a question.
What do you think, John? Is that, legal wise, is that the way we want to go? We talked quite a bit in that meeting about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's up
That's
to.
all right, legal wise?
Yeah, that's up to the town council to structure it and make that offer.
Just for clarity, the contract that was used for the start, or the starting point, is the same one that was we had previous. There's quite a bit of details, requirements, I got what's the right words, responsibilities stated in that. And that was the starting point, just so everybody knows where it started at. And that's when Landis said the contract that we had, that's what we meant.
Your thoughts?
I would hang a whole bunch on the completion of the Marshall School. This is the simple fact. Without that, it's nothing.
It's a done deal.
Well, I was gonna say, under my understanding, that's
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
That's gotta be happening, and then job performance. There's something, there's gotta be something in there about job performance, review, etc. Annual review or something like that.
I think your point's very well taken. We need to include in that contract a yearly review.
Performance type based review.
Right.
I don't know how many years I wanted through that with my employer, so it only makes sense.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna open the floor. You got anything more to say? Jack, you were first.
I had a couple, second one came up during this conversation. One, I was under the impression, and this may be totally erroneous, but that a board, especially contracting with individuals, could not go on a contract past the length of their elected term. Now, I may be totally wrong on that, I don't know. I will do some checking, maybe you have. The second point, you brought up that this contract was based on the previous contract. Could I have a copy of the previous contract? Because I'm told there wasn't one.
Sure.
So,
I've got, you got that contract that you used to get? I'm gonna say I've got it if you don't. Okay.
it was from 2002 or something like that?
I don't know the exact date on it, Jack.
It was 03.
03?
Got a question, Bob? You were next.
Actually, I've got a statement. I was reading the Cities and Town Association book and everything, and one of the points that came up on there was town officials as a group should not be allowed to have to issue a contract beyond the length of their term.
I don't, the guidance that I have been given does not agree with that.
Well, I don't have any guidance, I just what I've read.
Yeah.
If they've got it in black and white in print as something that a town should abide by, then I would think that that would be what they should abide by.
The way it actually reads, if I'm correct, but the way I've been guided, I know I'm correct in what I'm saying here, is that this board can make long-term contracts. If the board changes next year, that can be changed. All you have to do is say it's done. So the ability to go into long-term contracts is prevalent, but now then, if the new board would choose to change or not continue with that contract, it has that prerogative.
I think you're wrong on that as far as the wording, but
Well,
I understand where you're coming from.
Well, John, can you look at that and see if we are out of bounds as far as issuing a contract that goes past the current terms?
Sure.
That way it's completely legal and
Yeah.
we go on legal advice.
No use to write it up that way if it's illegal.
Sure.
If it isn't, then you can come back and say, hey, folks, there's a problem.
Sure.
That way that everybody gets the current legal read on it. I don't want anybody getting shortchanged or anything else.
Why can't the contract just be 1 year at a time the way they always used to be? Yeah, you're following old contracts.
Well, I think what we're doing now is falling more in line with what's going on in the world. And the reason I say that is from having conversed with some chiefs. Huh?
What's going on in the world? I mean,
What's going on in the world? Generally, a first term with Marshall School is a minimum 3, and a lot of them are going 5-year contracts. And
okay.
I don't know about 3. 3 I don't have a problem with. 5, that's a long time.
One I don't have a problem with. I mean,
Pardon me?
One I wouldn't have a problem with, but that's just me.
Any other comments from the floor? Okay, we'll go to the next point. Have we got any new business? Including me? Is that you?
I guess I'm new. Folks, this is my last meeting. I am resigning. Various reasons. Not anything here, nobody here. We found property that we've been looking for. We purchased it. Take possession by the end of the month. So I don't think it's fair for me. I will be still owning the house for a while, but I won't be quote unquote in town, etc. So that's it. Sam, Ralph, if you got a replacement in mind, you probably ought to better think about them. Or just wait until the end of the year and go for.
I don't have anything in it.
Well,
It goes to Russ Willis.
well, you know what I'm saying. The political parties need to do their thing.
We understand.
And one thing, I have one comment that I do have that I've said here for, what, 17 months, something like that. That if you're going to get involved with the town, in town business, etc., come to the meetings, talk to the people that represent your section. Don't just go down here and listen to somebody and get all upset and bent and wrecked out of shape because somebody down here thinks this and somebody over there thinks that. Actually come and get involved. When you elect new board members this fall, the elections, talk to them, give them your input, who you vote for, then go back and support them. Believe me, it's not fun on that side of the table, and it sure the hell ain't no fun on this side. Because I can listen to Sam, and I can listen to Ralph. I'm just picking you two out, okay? You can get two different opinions, okay? And I can pick on those two because they're both neighbors. They give me two different opinions. Sam's makes more sense than Ralph's does. Guess who's going to be pissed off at me? Or, I'm sorry. Guess who's going to be upset with me? But you got to look at it as this is a business. There ain't nothing but business. And I may upset Sam and make somebody else real happy. But it's for the town. So when you vote this fall, vote for the person that you want and then go support them, please. And I'm sorry that that one word slipped out. That's the reason why the books are up here. My suspicion.
Mike, I would personally like to thank you for filling in when you filled in. I know I asked you to as precinct committeeman, and I appreciate all your hard work that you've done, and your wife, because I know both of you have. Talked to both of you before, and I wish you guys the best. I'm sure the whole town does.
She spent a whole lot of nights listening to, yeah, I'll shut up. There's, when I was in Scouts, they handed out a district award to the non-scouting people, non-scouter, Scoutmasters and assistant Scoutmasters, etc. They handed out awards for the people who supported Scouting the most. And Vicki got one of those. And quite literally, she bled sewing on patches onto uniforms and this, that, and the other. So she does support, and she has listened. She's called a few people, a few choice names. Of course, it didn't go leave the house. But that's all I got really to say. Just support who you elect and talk to them and keep them in mind.
Don't you be a stranger. You can still come back and live in me and Ralph's backyard.
I'm going to have about 2.5 acres, a half acre of it wooded, or 2 acres, an acre and a half of it's wooded. Where do you think I'm going to spend most of my time?
Me and Ralph's coming.
Why do you think I've done? I know where my mushrooms are going to be at.
Any other comments?
Yeah, anybody else, I open my mouth long enough. And Mark, now I'd like to open this to, Mark just not pay. I worked free this year.
I don't know, is that legal? Can he do that?
You can donate it after he gives. I think you got to take it to him.
I don't have to take it.
Well, you can donate it.
Just don't write the check.
I don't know what that's
Can you do
legal.
that?
He could donate it.
Back to the
He wants to
town.
donate.
Can't donate. I'll send you a check.
I don't think that's legal. I think you have to pay. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but.
Not if I don't accept it.
That's between you and
Yeah.
Mark. Anything else? I make a motion, we, pay the claims, pay the bills and adjourn.
Yeehaw's right. Motion's been made. Everybody in favor? Aye.
I don't know about that. I screwed my.
Where you moving to, Mike? Where you moving to?
Down south.
Southern Indiana?